The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by WellMed. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful Tuesday, Florida morning. It's October 5, and fall is in the air. I'm your host, Gary Owen.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
He's just coasting on my
I'm
coattails.
coasting. Yeah.
And by the way, in case you're wondering who you're watching or what you're watching, it's the world-famous Red Hot Live Quality of Life radio show, and it's proudly sponsored by Aetna Medicare. And by the way, we are live in the studio at WSTU 1450 in downtown Stuart. You can hear us on WSTU 1450 AM, WPSL 1590 AM. Also, Facebook Live. I think the world came to a halt yesterday when Facebook was down for 8 hours. But anyway, we're back operational. And also, you can catch us live in the studio at www.wstutv.com. And we are here every single Tuesday morning, Tom.
Absolutely. Gary, we love it. We love our show. We love our people who are listening to us. And
we love Evan.
We love Evan, our producer, and our new co-producer. But we come here every Tuesday morning, Gary, for three reasons. Number one, to bring relevant content to our listeners, information that people can really use in their life. We're also here to support and showcase special guests who will be introduced here in just a moment. And we, you and I, love to provide information and education about insurance planning, so that would improve your quality of life.
And really, this is what we're about. This is what the show is about, how we can enhance your quality of life and health. It's really important. And listen, we get it. We know that insurance is about the most boring subject on the planet. You might as well go out to Indiantown Airport and watch the grass grow. It's just as fun. However, I think that it's important that we provide education and information to our community, because really, it's what you don't know that can really harm you. So we're here to be proponents of health insurance, health care, and help you to have a great quality of life and health, and be here as a resource to answer any questions you have. So we're very happy this morning to, the first part of the show, by the way, we will always sponsor and showcase a small business owner, an executive, or a politician, what have you, anyone who's important,
Interesting,
fun, exciting.
Cool.
Like our next guest, Skylar Gorman. We're very happy to have Skylar with us, and Skylar is the executive director of the Stuart Air Show. Good morning, Skylar. How are you?
So much energy in the morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You know, we wake up every morning. I get that every once in a while. It's like, Gary, what did you drink this morning?
I swear.
And it's just about PMA, Tom, waking up, having that mentality that you're just going to wake up and be strong, be proactive, and have a great day.
And as you say, own the day.
Don't let the day run you.
That's right.
That's important. So, Skylar, tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, I think everybody in Martin County knows who Skylar is, but there may be a few that are watching who may not know who you are.
I feel like I'm blushing. I am actually a homegrown hero, born and raised in Martin County, Florida. Lived in Hobe Sound the majority. Is it working? Oh, sorry. The majority of my life, I did go to school for a bit in Tampa and lived in Dallas, Texas for a few years. But I've been back since like 2018 and live in Jensen with my family and love Martin County. I don't think we'll ever leave. So, yeah.
Where would you go from Martin County? I can't even imagine well, maybe Hawaii. St. John.
The water's colder. I like the warm water here.
Yeah, St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands. Before I ask you the next question, I just want to give a quick shout out. I forgot. My sister and my niece had a birthday. So October 1st was my sister Joanne's birthday, and then October 2nd was my niece Briley's birthday. So a shout out to Joanne and Briley. Happy birthday to one of my two favorite girls. I love you guys very much. Okay, so Dallas. Was you in the Metroplex?
Was I? I was.
What part of Dallas?
In the suburbs, kind of outskirts. Rockwall.
Rockwell, okay. Yep.
Rockwall, Rowlett, yeah.
So I spent 7 years with an insurance carrier in McKinney, Texas.
Okay.
So we'd always travel to DFW, and what a wonderful place that is to fly into and then to drive.
The airport is not confusing at all.
Not at all. It's only 18,000 miles long. It's massive. It's an amazing place. So also, I want to share with everybody, Skylar and I are in the same leadership class, and we got selected because we're awesome people, but we got selected for leadership class 31 for with the Stuart Martin County Chamber of Commerce. So a shout out to those other classmates who may be watching and listening. So Skylar, what prompted you to get involved with the Stuart Air Show?
Well, I mean, if you've grown up here, I have memories of attending it as a small child, and you kind of just always got this energy that buzzed into town when the Jets buzzed into town. That's my most memorable part of it all. So I moved back to Florida from Texas with my daughter, like I said, in 2018, and the job was open. And I applied, and I thought that would be really cool. And it is a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit, so it kind of required someone to have some development experience, fundraising experience, but then also event planning. I helped to plan some pretty large conferences when I lived in Dallas. So it's really the best of both worlds, and it's probably the best job I've ever had, my most favorite, most fun.
I think so. I mean, of course, I'm a pilot, and I mean, I don't know. I mean,
wait, you are? You're a pilot?
I'm a pilot, yep.
Wow.
In fact, I flew missions with the Air Force Auxiliary, the Civil Air Patrol. So we had some static displays at the Stuart Air Show.
Wow.
And
yeah.
so, yeah, that's the reason why I know about the flight suit parties.
Oh, okay.
And it's a great history with the Stuart Airport. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have been an organization for 32 years now. We weren't always a nonprofit, started with a couple different organizations, then the VNA, as a lot of people are familiar with, took it over, and it's just grown so much that they decided to incorporate it as a nonprofit 12 years ago. So we're self-sustaining. I work for a board of directors, and the past couple years have been pretty... I'll use the word interesting.
Challenging?
Yes.
Turbulent?
Roller coastery, yeah. We had, my first year, I was in the position for, I think, like 3 months. And, there was a, pretty tragic incident that happened in 2019, my first day basically on the airport, and it kind of felt like, where do we go from here? We lost almost $1 million that year, and the future was pretty bleak. We were able to work with the county, and the community just uplifted us, and we got donations from all over the world, really, and our county really supported us and our community. And then in 2020, we're proud to say that we were still able to put on a show amidst a national pandemic. We were actually one of 3 air shows in the entire North America to be able to have a show in a traditional sense. And this year, we've said it every year, it can only be up from here. But last year was great. It pushed us. We had a great attendance. And
what was the attendance last year? Do you have any sense on how many attended?
well, we traditionally have a 3-day show, and we were only really able to have 1 day. I would say there was around 18,000 people there.
Okay. This year, what are you expecting?
I would be surprised if we didn't easily hit 50,000 people
Perfect.
this
That's
year.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. So for those of you that live in the Treasure Coast, and no matter where you're at, if you're in Palm Beach County or wherever you are, we certainly would invite you to come to visit the quaint community of Martin County. Stuart is a beautiful place. And if you've not ever been, I think it should maybe be placed on your bucket list, because There's so many great things about Stuart, Martin County, and one of those great things is the air show, the Stuart Airport. Great history from World War II from this airport, so we would love for you to come and support us. Now, if there are people out there, Skylar, who may want to donate, where can they go and how do they get a hold of you?
Shameless plug, since we are the largest event in the Treasure Coast, we are your largest business to consumer opportunity. So not only is it a tax deductible contribution, but our digital footprint, we had over 1 million impressions last year on just our event page. So it's really a good ROI, but I would go to our website, stuartairshow.com. There's information on getting involved, volunteering, being a vendor, sponsoring, just flat out donation, or if you want to join Gary at the Dirty Flight Suit Party.
What happens at the Dirty Flight Suit Party?
Oh, man, it's going to be big this year. It's going to be big this
Or should we
year.
say that what happens at the Dirty Flight Suit Party stays at the Dirty Flight Suit Party?
No comment.
Too many camera phones.
Yeah, right?
Yes, indeed. Which for some reason mine's not working here, guys. It says stay tuned still. I'm not sure. I know that we're live on there, but of course I have no service inside the studio. Yeah. Perfect. It's a great place to be with a cell phone in WSTU 1450 studio. All right, so I want to ask. I want to find out who is going to be performing this year.
Okay. I will break down the 3 days quickly for you. Friday is our Twilight Show. Half of it is for a private party where tickets are available, the Dirty Flight Suit Party. The other half is for general admission. The Twilight Show, we'll have all right, let me not get ahead. I get excited. So Friday night's our Twilight Show.
And that's always fun. That is a great experience.
It's a pretty once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because not many of these aircraft have the cool bells and whistles to make Twilight or Sunset tour exciting.
That's right.
So after that, we'll have a almost $20,000 pyrotechnic display. So it's really beautiful, moving, and then we, for the first time ever, have the Yingling flight deck stage powered by FPL, and the
Sound like a commercial.
Yeah, it maybe was a commercial. Shout out to Marshall. I hope you heard that.
Hey, Marshall.
No, so we are having one. They're called one of the best cover bands in South Florida. Actually, Jim Trolsky of the city of Stuart will be participating with this. It's basically a concert after, so we have a 3-part there. Saturday and Sunday are the same schedules, and we have a bunch of military support that I can't even announce yet. It's super secret, but I'm telling you, it's so annoying that I can't announce it, but it's...
Can I announce it?
No.
Can we guess?
I feel like they would pull out if I did, but so I mean we definitely have some jets. You know, we're participating in the Veterans Day Parade as well on November 11th. We'll do a flyover, so look for an at least 11 ship flyover, and then so we also for the first time have the Red Bull helicopter. So it's an aerobatic helicopter that goes upside down, barrel rolls, and then the Red Bull Air Force jumpers in their squirrel suits are going to go flying out of that.
That's good. With nuts.
Yeah.
So we're hold on to that thought because
Okay.
that sounds exciting, and I'm really can't wait for this weekend to happen and see you there. And Tom, hopefully we'll see you there. We're going to take our first break of the show, and we'll come back and we're going to ask very important questions of Skylar Gorman, and only Skylar Gorman can answer. And then also what we're going to do is we're going to talk with you about some big news happening on the Treasure Coast with Cleveland Clinic and United Healthcare. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. You're watching the Quality of Life radio show. I'm your host, Gary Owen, and Tom the Bouvier. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
Just imagine. Imagine finding a doctor who listens. Imagine a doctor who cares, who takes time to understand you and your lifestyle better. Imagine an entire care team dedicating to helping you live your best life. You don't have to imagine. WellMed is redefining aging with our unique approach to care designed by physicians to help you stay as healthy as possible. Learn more about our recognized model of care at discoverwellmed.com.
You are listening to WSTU, Stuart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show, the world's finest, red-hot, live radio show. If you haven't heard about the Quality of Life Radio Show, Tom, we always say you have to be one of two things. You're either what?
Dead or asleep.
Or asleep. So we know that if you're watching us, you're neither, so thank God for that. And make sure that you spread the word about the Quality of Life Radio Show. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, your loved ones, your enemies. Tell everybody about the Quality of Life Radio Show because we do make a difference. So today on our show, we have the one and only, phenomenal, talented, funny.
Go on.
Educated, spirited,
Phenomenal.
Hungry,
thirsty. Do we have any beer in the house? Wine?
Yingling.
Scotch?
Oh, boy.
Skylar Gorman. Skylar Gorman is the executive director of the Stuart Air Show. And before we went on break, she was telling us all the great lineups, some of the great lineups she can tell us about. Some of the others are still top secret, which she cannot divulge.
I won't.
So what else can we expect at the Stuart Air Show? And talk about some of the sponsors as well.
Sure. I just wanted to mention one more cool performer. Not all the excitement's going to be in the sky this year. We have the world's fastest semi-truck. Sets a world record at 376 miles per hour.
Wow.
It's actually going to race a plane around 350 miles per hour in front of the crowd. So worth mentioning.
That sounds pretty fun. I think I would prefer to be in the airplane and not in a truck.
Yes, me too.
Well, you can purchase a seat in the truck for $3,500 and be a part of the show if you're interested.
Anybody tuning in right now who'd like to ride 370 some miles an hour in a big rig, call the studio, 220-WSTU, 220-9788.
And check your life insurance
And
policy.
make sure you have the check ready and made out to Stuart Air Show for $3,500.
Fair enough. So Pratt Whitney has returned to be one of our greatest supporters. The airport does support us. We have, honestly, more support than we could have hoped for this year. We kind of were conservative this year, as is everyone, or as was everyone. And we've just been blown away with, $200 makes a huge difference to us. That's one performer's hotel night.
Sure.
That's a rental car or whatever it is, just to inspire the next generation of American patriots, which is really why we're here as an air show. A lot of people don't know that that's why we exist.
That's very good, and that's important. I mean, growing up, I'll tell you, two things growing up when I was a young boy, growing up in the hills of Pennsylvania, was aviation, seeing airplanes, and watching cop shows. Adam 12 was one of them, for those of us who are old enough to remember Adam 12. Mm-hmm. So the two things that I was passionate about growing up, I became. So it's a very interesting thing. So I believe in the work that you do, and it's important. Just like the Civil Air Patrol. I mean, one of the programs, one of the 3 missions of Civil Air Patrol is aerospace education. Cadet programs, aerospace education, and emergency services. So it really does. And then, the cadets that we train are tomorrow's leaders. So getting them involved to aviation certainly changes their lives. It's an amazing thing. So kudos to what you do.
I feel like honor duty country is something that gets lost sometimes,
100%. I agree with you. There is probably a few, maybe not that many, but maybe a few out there who have been living under a rock, or maybe due to COVID haven't come outside yet and don't know when the Stuart Air Show is going to happen this year.
It is November 12th through the 14th, and the week before, you'll know we're in town.
You'll hear that you were in town. That's cool.
It's called The Sound of Freedom.
We love the Sound of Freedom. And then also, what is the cost? I know you've got VIP membership, general membership, and then, by the way, speaking of general membership admission, we have 2 tickets that we're going to give away, so you want to stay tuned to learn how you can get one of these 2 golden tickets.
Price varies. Our general admission tickets right now are $25 for some pretty awesome experiences. The tickets will go up October 17th, and that'll be the final increase, and there will be tickets at the gate. We do have Dirty Flight Suit Party tickets, different tiers. Maybe you just want a seat on the flight line. I would just suggest going to the StuartAirShow.com website to see all the different upgrades and options.
Fantastic. And what time does the air show begin?
On Friday, the gates open for the Twilight Show at 5 o'clock, air show around 5:30. Saturday and Sunday, gates open at 9. Usually flying starts a little bit before noon.
All right, fantastic. What would you say to 2 groups of people out there who are listening or watching us this morning? What would you say to those who have not yet been to the Stuart Air Show?
Something that I get a lot when I'm out around town. I love the Stuart Air Show. I love to watch it from the Home Depot parking lot. I love to watch it from my boat. I love to watch it from, whatever, which is great. We want you to do that, but we can't continue to provide those aircraft and those experiences without support. It is $1 million event, and you will not see outside of the gates what you will experience inside of the gates.
So that's for the people but the people who have been to the Stuart Air Show and are riding the fence, Skylar, about coming back to see the air show. What would you say to those people?
I would say that the undeniable energy and chill that runs down your spine when a jet flies by or you see a kid inspired or look up to an active military man will change your mind.
I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I highly recommend that you listen to Skylar Gorman, make plans, support the Stuart Air Show. A long history. It changes lives. It's fun. You're outside. It's a wonderful experience. Just to be on the static display and seeing all the aircraft is an amazing thing. But like she said earlier, to feel the roar of the engine and the planes going by, it's an amazing experience. So we hope to see you there. If you're not there and if you're on the beach, get your morning rays of sun, come back to the Stuart Air Show, support it, and it is the biggest nonprofit event on the whole Treasure Coast. Correct?
Yeah, and Sunfest, I think, was canceled. So really, South Florida, we're pretty up there.
So are you saying that you are inviting the people in South Florida to come to watch the Stuart Air Show?
Oh, they're always invited.
Perfect. So yes, those of you that are in Palm Beach County, Broward County, even if you're in the Keys, come on up to Stuart, Martin County, enjoy the weekend. Great people here in Martin County. So, Skylar, why don't you give them your number again or your the website, how they can reach you if they have any questions.
StuartAirShow.com.
All right, so go to StuartAirShow.com and learn more, get your tickets, and do it before October 17th because the price goes up
$5.
October 17th. Save money, right? All right, so we're going to transition. It's half past the hour now, right? 10:31 a.m. And, Tom, we've got some big news to share. There's two things we're going to do before we get to the big news. We're going to talk. We always share a little day in history. What happened this day in history? And also, we always like to share a fun health fact. So maybe Skylar probably knows this. What is it that you do 3 hours or more at least once a week to reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 65%? What activity do you think it might be, Skylar?
Walking.
Ding, 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 ding.
What do I win?
You get a free 2021 Stuart Air Show general admission ticket. But yes, it is walking at a fast pace for 3 hours or more at least once a week. Now, we know that most people aren't going to take the time to walk 3 hours once a week. So I would recommend maybe 1 hour a day, 3 times a week to get the same effect. So to reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 65%. That's a lot. Oh, day in history. So maybe Skylar might know this from her history class.
Doubt it.
October 5th. What happened 1947, October 5th, with a President, Harry Truman? Do you have any sense of what may have happened, Skylar?
Time's up. I don't know.
So, by the way, what year was he born? Do you know that?
No.
Take a guess.
Well,
Tom, you take a guess.
1895.
1895.
1894.
1844. 1884, rather. So you were 10 years.
Price or Right rules.
You were close. Right? You were in the game. But anyway, President Harry Truman made the first ever televised presidential address from the White House. Isn't that amazing? Back in 1947. And actually, at the time of Truman's food conservation speech, Europe was still recovering from World War II and suffering from famine. And he was the 33rd Commander-in-Chief. Also, something else is interesting with President Harry Truman that has to do with Medicare, Tom.
I know it. The answer.
What's the question?
The question is...
I have the answer. You have the question.
Right. This
Who's
is like a
first?
reverse Jeopardy or something like that.
Reverse engineering.
Reverse engineering. So the question is, who received the first Medicare card?
Who received... Oh. Let's see if our special guest knows the answer to this one. So, who was the very first American citizen to receive the card number 1 for Medicare? Skylar, do you know who it was?
Wouldn't they have to be over like the age of
65? Yeah, very good. She
His-
knows the 65 number. That's good.
His mom, Truman's mom.
No, it was actually Truman himself. Yeah. So President Harry Truman received the first Medicare card. It actually took place on July 30th, 1965. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs Medicare into law, and at the bill signing ceremony, which took place at the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri, the former President Harry Truman was enrolled in Medicare's first beneficiary and received the first Medicare card. So you had no idea you was going to come on my radio show and immerse yourself in history.
It's going to come up at some point. It'll
Absolutely.
be useful information to know.
I'm not sure about that, but appreciate that. And then if he was number one, who was number 2? Who got the second card?
His mom.
No.
His wife.
His wife.
Oh, right.
She has a thing about President Truman's mom. We have to maybe dig into and see
I
what's
felt
going
like
on
she would
there.
maybe need it more than
We have to figure out more about Mr. Truman's mother. All right, so that was good information that you could probably use sometime in your future.
Definitely.
Not sure if it will ever come to pass. But then, by the way, in 1966, when it was signed into law, actually signed into law in 65, but it served 19 million people who enrolled in Medicare when it went into effect January 1966.
Wow.
19 million people overnight.
And they were not paying into it up until that time.
Right.
Right?
Isn't that
so
amazing?
that was just money out of the government's coffers.
And it was so, and
That never happens.
Congress
these
was
days.
not interested in supporting the program. So actually, Senator Truman had fought for 20 years to have a national health care system. So very, very cool and very interesting. So those of you who are in Medicare, congratulations, and thank former President Harry Truman. All right, so we've got those two things out of the way. So Tom and I have some serious information to share with you, and then we're going to share with you the top 10 mistakes to avoid if you are on Medicare or you're aging into Medicare. We just put together a manuscript for our nonprofit. Yeah, we have a nonprofit too, Skylar. We just did one. It's not as massive as your nonprofit
Not yet.
Somewhere.
yet, but we have MedicareJourney.org that just went live last week. So it is a nonprofit informational and educational site for and unbiased, right? So we see so many commercials out there that are biased towards a certain carrier or a certain plan. You see all these celebrities and football Hall of Famers that are going on TV and espousing all these benefits and so forth. And my number one advice is to never take the Medicare Journey alone. Don't take the road alone. And number two, don't base your decision on a health care plan, whether it's Medicare or under 65 plan, based on a celebrity or a celebrity's endorsement.
Amen to that.
All right. So, Tom, what's the big news with Cleveland Clinic and United Healthcare?
So, as people may or may not know, insurance companies have contracts with providers, and these providers, of course, can be healthcare systems as well as individual doctors. So the healthcare system, Cleveland Clinic, well known around the country, here on the Treasure Coast, and most important to us, they took over Martin Memorial. So the contract between United Healthcare and Cleveland Clinic is up for renewal. So anytime a contract comes to an end and they're looking to renew, there's a lot of posturing, positioning, negotiation goes on.
And sweating.
So now the news has gotten out, actually, and I recently heard the damage has already been done because so many people have United Healthcare not only for their Medicare Advantage plan, but also for their under 65 plans. I know I have a group that has United Healthcare for their insurance. So if these negotiations do not come to a successful conclusion and they make agreements and they can write a new contract for a certain number of years, then United Healthcare and Cleveland Clinic will part ways. Therefore, people who've always had United Healthcare and said it's an in-network hospital and providers and doctors, they'll be out of network. And so for under 65 people who have individual plans or group plans, that contract could come to an end on November 27th if negotiations break down and they do not come to an agreement. Medicare Advantage clients and beneficiaries, they would be able to continue to go to Cleveland Clinic until the end of the year. But on January 1st of 2022, United Healthcare and Cleveland Clinic would not be in a contract and to be out of network.
And so when we come back from our second and last break of the show, we're going to kind of give you some advice and some of the things that maybe you should do or you should consider as this is taking place. So again, you're listening to the Quality of Life radio show on WSTU 1450 AM, America's Heritage Station, and WPSL 1590 AM. Go ahead, take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Brothers for all your property insurance needs. Hi, I'm Frankie Lott. Give me a call, 468-1009. That's 468-1009. We represent the most competitive markets across the Treasure Coast and throughout the state of Florida, insuring your home, condo, auto, and boat, plus commercial. The Lott Brothers are available 24 hours a day for your convenience. Call me at Lott Insurance Services, 468-1009.
Just imagine. Imagine finding a doctor who listens. Imagine a doctor who cares, who takes time to understand you and your lifestyle better. Imagine an entire care team dedicated to helping you live your best life. You don't have to imagine. WellMed is redefining aging with our unique approach to care designed by physicians to help you stay as healthy as possible. Learn more about our recognized model of care at discoverwellmed.com.
You are listening to WSTU, Stuart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
And welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show, the world's finest, hottest, wonderful radio show that I think in the world. Skylar Gorman just told me that was the best radio show that she's ever heard, but it's been the only radio show she's ever listened to. So, but anyway, I want to let everybody know that we have 2 general tickets to the air show that we are giving away. Now, how do you win this? Skylar said that you should stand on your head and sing a song about airplanes for 30 seconds, but I thought that might have been too dangerous. So we're going to make it more simpler, and we're going to simplify it where all you have to do is dial a number at 1 p.m., okay? 1 p.m., you dial is it our number?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Skylar's number?
No.
Oh, my number. Okay, so you have to dial Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. Where, Tom, what's the other number they can dial?
772-210-1020. Either one.
I like the 772-210-1020.
It comes off the tongue much
there we go.
smoother.
It's on the screen now. And the code word, when you dial that number at 1 p.m., the code word that you're going to be asked is Skylar. Skylar. And you have to say it in that tone. Skylar. That's the code word, all right?
That's a whisper.
In a very soft whisper.
I'm so sorry for your receptionist.
Yes. Well,
You're thinking this is weird.
The fun part is the receptionist didn't make it to work today, so I'm not sure who's going to answer.
Nobody's going to answer the phone until
who knows?
Until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
It'll be interesting to see who does answer the phone.
But just keep calling.
If you get the voice message, press 1 for the next person who's available. But anyway, it's 772-210-1020. Code word Skylar. And you'll get a free general admission.
Not before 1 p.m.
Not 12:59.
We'll be watching on
102, 1 p.m. All right. We have 15 minutes to go, and we really need to share with you some important information about those top 10 mistakes to avoid. Tom, so why don't you take number 1? You do the odd since you're the odd buck, and I'll do the even.
Sure thing. So one of the top mistakes people have is not knowing when, where, or how to apply for Medicare. I get this 2 or 3 times a week, actually, people turning 65. Hey, I'm turning 65 in January. A guy just 2 days ago said, I'm turning 65 January 25th. Should I give you a call after that? I said, absolutely not. I said, you were doing the right thing calling me 3 months ahead of time. So there's so many rules about it. So, for me to go through all the different scenarios would take up, for the rest of the day. But really, give us a call at 772-210-1020 because there are different rules if you're turning 65, if you're working and you have coverage and you want to work until 67 or 68 or whatever, or if you have a disability and you're coming close to 2 years of a qualifying disability, you can get on Medicare as well. So there's a lot of rules, but not knowing when, where, or how could definitely be a mistake.
And Tom, to answer your question also, they can go to the nonprofit site, MedicareJourney.org and get all their questions answered as well. So
Excellent.
go to MedicareJourney.org. And by the way, for those of you that are turning 65, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, I know you're asking, how on the H did you get here so fast? And third, to answer Tom's question, 3 months, right? 3 months before you turn 65 is when you can sign up for Medicare Parts A and B.
Excellent.
And make sure that if you are not taking Social Security, because if you are taking Social Security, you'll receive your Medicare A and B card in the mail automatically. If you're not taking Social Security benefits, then you have to manually apply. And the best way to do it is online. And if you have questions or need some help, we can help you navigate that complicated system. But who said the government was complicated? Top number 2 mistake, not knowing how much you will pay for original Medicare Parts A and B. So, Sky, I'm going to ask Skylar. She has no idea the answer to this question, but I'm just curious.
Surprise you.
See, I mean, I've been surprised before. If a Medicare beneficiary turning 65 signs up for Medicare A and B, how much do they have to pay for Medicare Part A and how much do they have to pay for Medicare Part B?
I used to work for a Social Security, disability, bankruptcy legal firm.
So she should know the answer to this question. This is great.
Nothing? I don't know. Actually, I really don't know. I don't remember.
Well,
So nothing.
part
She's
of it's
half right.
She's half right. Absolutely. So if you no, but it depends though, Skylar. If you have 40 credit hours earned, which is equivalent to 10 years of work experience and paying into Social Security, your Medicare Part A premium costs how much?
Nothing.
0.
That's right.
Excellent. Do you need a job?
I don't know. We'll see how the air show
I
turns
need
out.
some help. Then Part B, there is a premium for Part B. The base premium for Part B is $148.50. Depends on your income. There's 5 tiers of income. So if you're a high income earner, it will cost you more for your Part B. All right, Tom, number 3.
Choosing to only enroll in original Medicare without a supplement or Part C, which is the Medicare Advantage plan. So people do make mistakes by just thinking that the red, white, and blue card, called the Medicare card, is all they need. If they go to a hospital, it'll be covered. If they go to a doctor, it'll be covered. If they go to a pharmacy, it'll be covered. And that's actually not true at all. So many people leave themselves vulnerable or open to really catastrophic financial harm because with just original Medicare, without a supplement or without a Medicare Part C, which is the Medicare Advantage plan, they have unlimited exposure financially, because with Medicare only, if you go to the hospital, you have a deductible. You pay $14.84, I believe, for day one, and then if you go to a doctor's office and visit, you pay the first $203 plus 20% thereafter. So if you have a $500,000 medical catastrophe crisis, you potentially could be owing $80,000 to $100,000 or more in copays and deductibles, and there's no ceiling. So having a supplement or Part C would cap those exposures.
And an alarming statistic, to your point, Tom, 11% of Medicare beneficiaries out there today only have original Medicare A and B. Either they don't understand that they need to have a supplement or an advantage plan tied into that to original Medicare, or I don't know what the other reason is, other than not really realizing the fact that they don't know, where they can't qualify. So if you have a pre-existing condition, been on original Medicare for a few years, you have some health situations, chronic illness or what have you, yes, you may not be able to qualify for a supplement plan, but you can certainly qualify for a Medicare Advantage plan. There are 0 underwriting questions when it comes to Medicare Advantage. Number 4 is deciding to not enroll in a Part D or a prescription drug plan. So I'd like to ask my clients who say, yeah, Gary, we're not going to take Part D. We don't want to pay the premium because I am not taking any prescription drugs, or I might be on a tier 1 statin and I can get it for $5 at Publix. At that point, I asked them a very poignant question. Where is your crystal ball?
Good one.
Yeah, it's very good. I made that up.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? She doesn't believe me. Where is your crystal ball? Because how are we to know, you might be healthy today and not taking any prescription drugs, but what happens if 2 months from now you have a pre-existing condition that pops up, a critical or chronic illness happens to you, and now you might need a tier 3, tier 4 specialty drug, and now you are SOL. What does that mean, SOL?
Shucks, out of luck.
Shucks, you're out of luck. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. And part 2 of not taking Part D prescription drug plan when you become eligible is you will now incur a 1% penalty per month until you officially enroll in your Part D plan. So it is not prudent, in spite of what you might think, it is not prudent to skip out on your Part D plan. Tom, numero 5.
Another mistake people have is not knowing the differences between IEP, AEP, OEP, and SEP.
OMG.
That's what they're thinking, OMG. And I say, if you have that OMG, call OIG.
I like it.
We
got to can that one.
Group, that's right. So what IEP, AEP, OEP, and SEP, it's election periods, when you can elect to enroll in a plan, change plans, etc. So IEP is your initial election period.
Tell them where they can go to find all that information.
They can go to MedicareJourney.org.
Love it.
Absolutely. I love that site. It's great information. I know Gary worked very, very hard to put together the transcripts and the information there, and it's accurate, unbiased, and it'll help you avoid these mistakes. So
and you get to see my sexy avatar.
Avatar, that's right.
Skylar's
if
like,
you want to see
she has
Gary,
her face buried in her hands right now.
Animated. It's worth the time.
It's fun. I mean, most people don't have the time to look at text and read sentences that are as long as, your legs. So it's much easier to look at a quick 1-minute video. And then what we're about to do is take additional videos with the help of Mr. Iggy over here, who is in charge of this production that you see here this morning. He does a great job. So I'll be soliciting his help to help me expand on your Medicare journey.
Absolutely. So all of those election periods are important to know. I won't go through them all. As we were saying, go to the website or even give us a call if you need clarification.
And Skylar, what number do they call if they want to get a hold of us with more questions?
220-2010.
She's close.
Oh,
772-210-1020. So when she leaves my radio show this morning, she will never forget. In fact, on Thursday's leadership class, I will stand up and ask her what is our phone number. So she will never forget our phone number. 772-210-1020. Number 6, not knowing if you should stay on your group plan or should you enroll in Medicare. So that is a great question. And what we do when you work with Owen Insurance Group or one of our agents, we will do a CBA. Do you know what a CBA is?
Just comparison.
Yeah, it's a cost-benefit analysis. And we'll determine whether or not it makes sense for you to stay on your group plan or would it make sense to enroll in Medicare, right? So you would just have to contact Owen Insurance Group, and we will do that for you at no cost. Number 7, Tom.
Not knowing how to choose a suitable and cost-effective Medicare plan. So many people just kind of are like a deer in a headlight, and that means they do nothing. It approaches. They're getting calls, their mailbox getting filled. And then sometimes they just a knee-jerk reaction. I've only got a few weeks left, and they pick up the phone and they get sucked in by the celebrities telling them to call this 800 number. And you have somebody on the phone where you don't really know their level of skill, expertise, all that they can offer. And so we say you need to find a local independent insurance agent, and you can find them at Owen Insurance Group.
There you go.
Treasure Coast.
And by the way, we have TV commercials coming out that speaks to not being a celebrity. Yes, I'm not a celebrity, but I am a local
getting there.
trusted Medicare guy.
You're
I like
on
that.
your way.
All right, I like that. Number 8, not taking advantage of the Medicare AEP, the annual election period, or the OEP, open enrollment period. So the AEP, the annual enrollment period, happens from October 15th through December 7th. The OEP, the open enrollment period, from January 1 to March 30th. And you need to make a plan change during that time frame. You should have a review done because the formulary changes, the co-pays change, the deductibles change, the networks change. You need to have a review. Don't be like an ostrich and keep your head in the sand. Number 9.
You misunderstanding the difference between a Medicare Advantage versus a Medicare supplement. So that's a common mistake. So many people call and say, hey, I need to get some supplement. They use the word supplement for everything.
Yes.
And in some sense, it is, but technically there are two separate things. A Medicare supplement is exactly what the word supplement means. It fills in, or it's like Medigap. It fills in what Medicare does not cover, and that's a different animal than the all-inclusive Medicare Advantage plan, which is somewhat like a replacement plan that covers all the benefits of Medicare. So there are major differences, and that's, again, what a good licensed agent who has your best interest in mind would be able to help you understand the difference and then help you pick the route to go.
We'll help you. We'll guide you to navigate the complicated maze of Medicare. That is what we do. We specialize in doing that. And number 10, not choosing the right independent insurance agency or agent to work with and to be your unbiased guide. So there's two types of agents or brokers out there. We use those words interchangeably, whether you're a broker or an agent. But the most important thing to remember is ask questions of the agent that you're working with. Are you independent? How many other carriers do you represent? So you want to make sure that the agent represents you, finding you the best plan. If they represent only one carrier, that doesn't really help you, and that's really not being unbiased. So it's important that you work with an independent insurance agent or agency who represents you and all the carriers out there. So, and also, that's number 10. I think those are great considerations. And if you have questions, make sure you pick up the phone, dial 772.
Oh, gosh. 210, 210.
What is it?
210, 2010.
210, 1020.
Dang it.
All right, so we're going to get it. We're going to get it right.
Sorry.
All right, we got 1 minute left, so I just want to remind everybody to get your 2 tickets. The code word is Skylar. Dial 772-210-1020 at 1 p.m. The first 2 callers will get your free general admission ticket. So we hope that you had a great show this morning. I know I enjoyed it. I know that Skylar certainly enjoyed it. And next week on the show, our special guest is going to be Dr. Brian Moriarty of Loving Chiropractic. It's going to be fun to have him on the show with us. And Tom and I will continue providing valuable information that will help enhance your planning solutions, your quality of life. We thank you for joining us. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. So please share us with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. Remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.
WSTU Stuart.